Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Wednesday meditation gathering. I'm so glad you're all here to share this time together. This week, we have Kenny Mammarella de Cruz to lead us in meditation, and then we're going to have 20 minutes silence. And after that, we're going to open it up for sharing. And we'll end today at 10:45. Over to you, Kenny.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here with you all again. Especially at the moment, I don't know about you lot, but lockdown has been a long, long journey. And in the last couple of weeks, certainly since the last full moon, there's been a lot of overwhelm. There's been a lot of stress, health issues, etc., etc. And when better to meet and sit in a place of love, and I guess therefore power together. So I would like to read you something from the Course in Miracles. This is the healing example from page 576. And if I've got this right, Dan, I'm going to read this for 5 minutes and then go into 20 minutes meditation. Great. Okay. So here goes. Quick sip of water. The healing example. The only way to heal is to be healed. The miracle extends without your help, but you are needed that it can begin. Accept the miracle of healing, and it will go forth because of what it is. It is its nature to extend itself the instant it is born, and it is born the instant it is offered and received. No one can ask another to be healed, but he can let himself be healed, and thus offer the other what he has received. Who can bestow upon another what he does not have, and who can share what he denies himself? The Holy Spirit speaks to you. He does not speak to someone else, yet by your listening, his voice extends, because you have accepted what he says. Health is the witness unto health. As long as it is unattested, it remains without conviction. Only when it has been demonstrated is it proved, and must provide a witness that compels belief. No one is healed through double messages. If you wish only to be healed, you heal. Your single purpose makes this possible. But if you are afraid of healing, then it cannot come through you. The only thing that is required for a healing is a lack of fear. The fearful are not healed and cannot heal. This does not mean the conflict must be gone forever from your mind to heal, for if it were, there were no need for healing then. But it does mean, if only for an instant, you love without attack. An instant is sufficient. Miracles wait not on time. The holy instant is the miracle's abiding place. From there, each one is born into this world as witness to a state of mind that has transcended conflict and has reached to peace. It carries comfort from the place of peace into the battleground and demonstrates that war has no effects. For all the hurt that war has sought to bring, the broken bodies and the shattered limbs, the screaming, dying, and the silent dead are gently lifted up and comforted. There is no sadness where a miracle has come to heal, and nothing more than just one instant of your love without attack is necessary that all this occur. In that one instant, you are healed. And in that single instant, all healing is done. We stand apart from you when you accept the blessing that the holy instant brings. What stands apart from you when you accept the blessing that the holy instant brings? Be not afraid of blessing, for the one who blesses you loves all the world and leaves nothing within the world that could be feared. But if you shrink from blessing, will the world indeed seem fearful? For you have withheld its peace and comfort, leaving it to die. Would not a world so bitterly bereft be looked on as a condemnation by the one who could have saved it, but stepped back because he was afraid of being healed? The eyes of all the dying bring reproach, and suffering whispers, "What is there to fear?" Consider well its question. It is asked of you on your behalf. A dying world asks only that you rest an instant from attack upon yourself, that it be healed. Let us meet in this holy instant of love without attack, the miracle's abiding place.
Open your eyes slowly and come back into the room. We have approximately 15 minutes left for sharing your reflections and your questions. If you'd like to speak, please go to the bottom. You'll see a button which says participants. Click on that, and at the bottom of that, you'll see a hand. Just press on the hand, and then I'll know you want to speak. And if you'd like to speak, say something with confidentiality, put your message in chat, and I'll read it out.
Hi, can I just ask Kenny, where was that it's Kirsty, where was that extract taken from, Kenny? What was the reference for that one?
That's page 576, the healing example.
Thanks, Kenny. And what I would like to what I got from that extract, but when you were reading that out, was a sense that in order to heal anybody else, then you need to be healed yourself. You can't really heal anybody until you actually heal yourself. And I'm just wondering if there's any sense in you that you can heal others whilst healing yourself, if that makes sense for you, that a kind of healing can happen simultaneously whilst, say, me, for example, if I wanted to forgive somebody, I could, it would be a simultaneous healing between the two of us, if that makes sense. I'm just wondering what your thoughts are on that.
I totally agree with you. I end all my newsletters, be the love, share the love. And for me, if I am it, then it ripples out naturally. If I step away from it, then I'm saying to the world, I'm apart from it. I'm not ready to be healed. I have some unfinished business, or I have not, I'm not ready, for example, in a relationship, I'm not ready to meet in love until I've dealt with something, or I've released something, or I've accepted something. My addiction, I would say, in my earlier life was, I'm not going to move on. I'm not going to move into love and abandon people, leave people behind. I want us all to do it together. And in a way, I was almost perpetuating the disconnection from love. One thing that I notice in this text is it says from there, rather than my feeling of it's here. If it's there, it's in the future, or I've disconnected from it. If it's here and now, then I am it and I can share it. And in a way, I'm inviting people to meet me here in love, irrespective of any conflict or unfinished business. And I feel if I meet in love, then coming from this place, the stuff that maybe needs to be dealt with either disappears, or we can see it through a lens of love, and things shift more magically, more miraculously, more naturally. Does that make sense, Kirsty?
It does, Kenny. I can see other people have got their hands up. So just if you could cover just one question I'd just like to ask very quickly. If there is no shift, if you are offering love and there is kind of intractable hostility on the other side that isn't going to go anywhere, does that mean that you're not ready to receive or what would you say about that?
For me, that means that I need to love what is, rather than hold out for what I want or what might be. What is here and now is all that is. And I need to, if I'm not engaged with love here and now, then I need to adjust, take a breath and adjust and accept what is. And then the miracle can happen. Otherwise, I'm staying out of it and I'm not shifting as my old addiction was until we all shift. And I realized that in my shifting, in my coming from love, maybe I'm taking a risk and other people in my being will take the invitation and meet me in love. And my intention with you all today was to put the separate from us, for us to all step into the love and meet in the love and meet in the feeling and sit at least for 20 minutes and forevermore in this being together. So I have the power to accept what is. And if there's any residue, pain or resentment or whatever it is I'm carrying, then mind of love needs to clear that up and I need to accept. And yeah, there will be a part of me, I'm sure, 99.9% of the time thinking, I hope this shifts the other person and we can meet in love. I hope they get it. And maybe I need to get something before they need to get something. But I think that I know that the power I have is to accept what is and come from love. And I guess unconditional love is accepting everyone else's perspective, and from their perspectives, they are right. From my perspective, I can just come from love and hope to be met here. I can just hope to grow in love, I guess, with or without them, and with everyone all the time at the same time.
Lovely. Thank you so much, Kenny, for that.
Thanks, Kirsty.
Gary, would you like to share something?
Thanks, Dan. Kenny, I think within this section, I mean, it's a fascinating section, and when you get into healing and everything, it's a big topic, isn't it? Let's be honest. But it does talk about entering the holy instant, if I remember right.
Yeah.
And just a quick correlation. There was a very good book, a very interesting read about 25 years ago called The Field. An investigative journalist called Lynn McTaggart, got a group of scientists to do all the double-blind tests and stuff. Does meditation work? How does healing work? What does prayer do? Ask all these big questions. And the three common denominators were, one, the healer in whatever modality had to have, or the best healings happened when that healer had an implicit faith that there was something bigger working through them. Two, the healer believed in that which, the modality, be it acupuncture, be it an antibiotic, be it a crystal, the belief in the magic, so to speak, is implicit. But the third one was that when the people entered a holy instant, the present moment, anything can happen in that moment. And in a sense, it's more difficult for a GP in a busy practice, because there's so much clamour going on. It's not impossible, when you trust and you got that good old fashioned values of a traditional family doctor, and there's that trust, and you can surrender into the presence of the person that you're with. But I think, with holistic therapies and stuff, there is that ambience of letting go and a facilitation of going into this, what the course would describe the holy instant. So just some insights, Kenny. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. And for me, that is the most powerful thing. Or maybe I should say, this is the most powerful thing, because this is the holy instant. And as I disconnect, then I wouldn't call myself unholy, maybe just distracted. And then my opportunities to adjust back. And it's, in that one instant, you are healed. And in that single instant, all healing is done. In this one instant, I am healed. And in this single instant, all healing is done. And my God, I feel just the power of that in a breath. And family GPs, I'm not sure it's about the medical, it's about the connection, it's about the care. Thank you so much for that.
Catherine, would you like to say something?
Thanks, Dan. Thank you for that, Kenny. I really enjoyed the passage. I've been working with a passage from chapter 7 recently, and what you read out for me is aligned with the sole responsibility of the miracle worker is to accept the atonement for oneself, this idea that as we heal, we're healed. And so I was surprised to come across, as you heal, you are healed, because the Holy Spirit sees no order of difficulty in healing. Healing is the way to undo the belief in differences, being the only way of perceiving the sonship as one. And so, yeah, I was very intrigued to come across it the other way round. As you heal, you are healed. So I wonder if you could speak to that, if you have any view on it.
Let me just find that bit, because no, the bit that I read, there was one part of it which to me is exactly that play. And for me, it's rather than me to you or you to me, it's the energy that exists in the connection. And maybe it's the connection, well, surely it's the connection between the two. And for me, it's not about which came first. It's more about here we are. We've surrendered to, we've connected with, we are being. And then the passage also talked about the natural ripple effect. But for me, it's about the connection and then the being of it. And I totally get your point, chicken or egg. And for me, it's like, well, hey, let's just hang out in the coop and let it be. I hope you don't think I was being flippant with that line.
Well, I wouldn't mind if you were, but yeah, and I guess the intention to heal is healing.
Exactly. That's exactly what I feel. And I last night I held I hold a lot of men's groups, I hold women's groups as well. Last night in the men's groups, I was a little upset about something. I have a relative who I've been very close to who's dying, and people who are on the edge at the moment. And I didn't want to not be upset yet. I wanted to feel it until I'm ready for it to shift. I didn't want to hover above my emotions. I didn't want to disconnect, because surely pain is part of life, part of love even. And these days, the way that it's demonized, take this, do this, avoid it this way, fix it this way, Meanwhile, no, I want to feel this, and I want to know myself here. And if I do, I believe that if I meet myself in the dark shadow of, the shouldn'ts and the pain, truly meet myself there, then the gold shadow opens up and I'm so much more available to love, to magic, etc., etc. And it's just a doorway. It's an opportunity. So it's not quick dash and feel good. It's love what is. And sometimes that can be scary, overwhelming, confusing, verging on an unacceptable, very lonely. And that's why in the groups, for example, it's like, speak it out. You don't need to be alone with this. Speak it out and hear other people's experiences of this. Speak it out and share the journey. Then it's out of my head and out of panic, and I'm breathing back into my body. I'm breathing back here and now. I'm connected. I've broken the spell, and I'm in the place of a miracle. And for me, when I'm in my doing or in my fear, I'm saying, not yet. When I'm in my being and in my love, then the magic always happens. And got to admit that my thinking hasn't really solved much, but my availability beyond my control, my God, the stuff that shows up in life, it's just outrageous. Signs and temptations. And I believe the temptations are life checking where I am, how much I can take, and what to give me next. That I feel is the guidance on my pathway.
David, would you like to ask a question? Comment?
Yeah, I'll try. When I put my hand up, I can't remember what it was I wanted to say. It's changed because I've been hearing others. But I howled and cried paragraph 3 about the war, and then I'm rereading it and thinking that it's just really very symbolic, and it's talking about conflict. It's talking about anything, and this is what I love about the course: is the imagery. And music has been a big part of my life, and I get earworms, and I write songs myself, as many of you might know. And the outro of Layla by Eric Clapton has been my earworm the last few days. It's so beautiful. And I wanted to just say that the pain that I'm suffering went while I was in the 20 minutes. Because it's a thing that I think into, and the whole process just helped the pain to go, and Jesus was there in the background, and he's long haired, and I've just realised that Jesus is a rock star for me, and he wasn't saying anything. He was just there, sort of nodding, and he'd be Jeff Lynne or Eric Clapton or someone like that if he was around now. He's just Jesus is a musical genius, and music is my life, and I'm feeling really good that for today to be in your presence, Kenny. Thank you.
Thank you
and
so
everybody
much,
else.
David. Thank you so much. And I agree, Jesus is a rock star. And also, you know, what struck me from what you were saying, the most magical place for me, especially during lockdown, is in the forest. Just being silent, being out of the flat, and being in nature. And what my closest friends and I probably say the most to each other, especially in the forest, is shh, because I love being with them. Sometimes there's stuff to debrief or what, but it's the being together. And when you describe Jesus silently being there, it was just, I could feel the magic of being together. And to me, that's being in love, being in alignment, rather than taking a step back and talking about how to connect. It's connection. Thank you so much, David.
Anne, would you like to say something?
Yeah, can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Hi, thank you very much, Kenny. Some of the answers that you've given us really, really helped me to actually speak out what I need to say. And it's this sense of all this stuff coming up, you know, and reasons why, you know, I've got so many things that stand in the way of me and being healed. And then the shame comes in, and then I can't speak about it. So it's like, okay, that's all just bullshit, really, isn't it? So I just wanted to speak it out.
That is the most important bullshit, if you ask me. And I have a cheap line that I use, and that is to name things as you have, or to name what's going on, rather than shame it or blame it. And it's very male, I would say, and probably very female as well. But the way that men, I would say, have generally or boys, been controlled and managed as testosterone fueled terrible twos and everything else is shame. Most men, I believe, fear shame and abandonment. And shame can be such a disconnecting thing. to go in the head and survive. Where for me to name it, then my shadow's in front of me and it no longer owns me. And I'm back in the driver's seat. And also, then I can love it. I can access, I was saying, take a breath and adjust from thinking and fear into embodied love and presence. Sometimes it doesn't shift. And then I take a breath and I follow the feeling back. And generally in a split second, I know the scene of the crime. I know where my depressed pause button is. And the man in me, or the adult in me, needs to meet that child in me and just hold him in my heart. And then he's safe and I'm available to meet the world. It's not an option that I offer him to the world anymore for other people to approve or take care of him. I'm not going to wait for my mother, father, Batman, or anyone else to show up to save him. It's up to me to connect and then be available to the world and let the miracles meet me as nature has it. And the other one I feel is blame, where so many people, I used to be distracted to try and find out, well, why did that happen? Why am I like this? Is it because of this in my childhood? Or is it Christianity or Idi Amin or the nasty society that I find myself in? And it's like all of these whys, rather than, I'm going to be over the shame right now. I need to connect. I'm not going to be thinking about why. I need to be love here and now. So if I name it, I'm free and I can connect instantly. But man, I've been busy for years with that one. So thank you so much for bringing it up.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yoji, would you like to share something? Yossi, yeah.
Yoji.
Yossi.
Yoji. Nice to see you, Kenny.
Thank you. I love your ceiling so much.
I am from Japan, and I have just started the ACIM. I want to say just thank you for today's meditation. I feel very relaxed.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay. So we've come to the end of the hour, and thank you all for being here today and sharing this meditation. And Kenny, that was wonderful. Thank you. Take yourself off mute and show your appreciation to Kenny.
Thank you,
Kenny.
Thank you,
Beautiful.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Kenny.
Good to see you again.
Bye-bye.